At least I didn't swear.
You were swearing a second ago, so it was right where I wanted you to be. Welcome back to the 100 Millionaires Podcast. My name is Walter Murillo. I'm hanging out with my good friends, Michael Schein and Mitch Jorsky. Mike, bring us in.
Massive income from passive income. We are here.
Mitch, how do we do it?
Apparently, since we didn't catch anyone cussing in the sneak up record, we organize and we fucking collect.
There it is. So the point is not to work, it's to generate income. We found that the secret to generating more income is through partnerships, through relationships. It's through having other people take your money or your ideas and invest them into something that generates income. We're on a mission to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. So if you're one of them, pay attention. We're about to talk about relationships and how to dive into getting other people to do things for you that you don't want to do, whether it's have money or they want to go do all the work. Mike is kind of the king of partnerships, but I've also had a partnership that I worked pretty hard on. And Mitch has a partner and a couple of partners and a couple of different investments. But Ron Bowling, my business partner for the last 5 years, at first was not the best real estate investor. That was kind of training him, building him, getting him to the point, but he was also the first millionaire that I was able to build. And I see like Mitch is doing the same thing. So Mitch, how did you meet your partner? We won't drop any names in the podcast, so everybody can stay anonymous except for Ron, not a coach Bowling. He's the only one who's getting dropped unless
I'm pretty sure. I feel like Ron was a legend when you met him. I don't know about this building him up. Ron just looks like he was a legend from day one.
Truth.
Ron has a couple of pictures of being a legend, but I don't know. When it
With
came
a nice
to real estate,
stash.
he had one single family and
the stash.
The classic.
He probably owns a leather jacket, so maybe that's where you're getting that from.
Probably. So my partner actually I already knew personally. We met in like grade school and played basketball together, and then obviously just stayed friends, and that ebbs and flows, obviously, with life and whatnot. So, but we still stayed in touch, enough over the years. And then he was looking to get involved in real estate, and I was already doing it. And he was in a market I wasn't in. So I was like, all right, I like boots on the ground. Smart. And, he's a hard worker and he's honest, which is in the end, the most important thing.
He's tall. He's tall.
He's tall like me. So, we got a good basketball team if we need it. Yeah. But yeah, in the end, for me, like the most important part, you can teach most people how to do something, but you can't teach honesty. You can't teach integrity. You can't teach work ethic. Like they either have it or they don't. I mean, obviously the work ethic, you can set up environments that are conducive to it, but either people have a motor or they don't, and it's just like, I always, that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't, make it drink. I believe in that. And like, that's something that I pay attention to. It's like, all right, I'm happy to lead a lot of people to water, but are they the ones that are going to drink? And if they're not, I'm like, well, then why am I going to waste my time leading them to the water when I can be working with people that will drink the water? So, honesty, integrity, work ethic. And then if I have to, I'll teach them about whatever it is we're doing.
You'll teach the technical, but we don't want to waste our time on morals, ethics, or doing things legally.
Exactly. Yes. Like you always say, what is it for Alchemist Nation?
Whatever it takes, as long as it's moral, ethical, and legal.
Exactly. Boom.
Yeah, but otherwise, we're wasting time, right? Like, it's like, oh shit, like you could lose so much money with somebody who does something unethically or morally. You're going to lose so much sleep. Like, it's not worth working with people who don't do things the right way. I don't care about their skill. Like, we can always fix, you put that nail in the wrong way, no problem. Pull the nail out, replace it, or replace a piece of wood. But if you went in and stole the nail, like now we got a problem.
I actually got 2 of my partners from Alchemist Nation, which was really amazing. But I second what Mitch said, because I know right from the beginning that I'm going to be more hands off. I'm not going to be dealing with a property manager. And so the know, like, and trust thing is key. I wouldn't be in partnerships with the people if I didn't trust them, sleep at night perfectly. And they've all worked out really well because of that.
I agree. Like, we choose our business partners based on their time in the mentorship. All of our business partners have been through the mentorship, because the mentorship was originally designed. Ron and I were sitting in an office about 2018. We were sitting in our office and we looked at where we wanted to go. And we said, the market might be turning. I know we were a little early on that, but we said the market might be crashed. The market might be turning. This is February 2018. If anybody who was looking at the market back then knows there was a little bit of a slowdown in prices. So we were looking at it saying, man, like if this is the end, how do we, and we couldn't find any deals. There were literally no deals in the market during 6 months. And we were just absolutely frustrated. So we said, if this is the end of us buying, what do we do? Well, the next step would be position ourselves so when the market does turn, we have access to way more deals. We can go way bigger. Say he and I only have one more market cycle left in our lives. Then what do we want to do to position ourselves so that the next market cycle, we can absolutely explode, crush it? This was our mindset. So it was, you have to build a network of deals. You had to have deal flow. You had to build a network of people who could do the deals, sling the deals, like, the labor, the property managers, the project managers, contractors. And then you had to have the people who had the money to fund the deals in an infinite manner. And the only way to do that was and they had to be moral, ethical, and do things legally. And we had to like them and know them. They had to know us. We had to like them. We had to know them. And that's where we started building out the training company and teaching investing so that we could get people who'd invested the way we invest. So that we'd be buying property with a 20% discount. So we'd be doing the 20% value add. So we'd be treating our tenants with respect. So like all of this stuff had to be built and baked into the people we were going to be working with. And so we started the training company and we started the mentorship. The mentorship, even though we charged for it, and it's been a profitable place for us, we took that back and rolled it into marketing. So we could take more market share, have more relationships or more people. And this is like a long way to say, ultimately, at the end of the day, when the market turns, market corrects, we have people, we have investors, these sectors of Alchemist Nations all across the US and across the country, across other countries. I'm huge in the Philippines. I got 9,000 followers in the Philippines. I just found out the other day. So
That's awesome.
There's these, who knows? I mean, maybe I'll be in Manila just taking down property soon. So, but the idea is that we could at any point flick the switch and start buying in a market. Any point, say Phoenix drops, which it's not right now, it's a hot market at the moment, but say it drops, we can jump in because we identified the value of relationships. It's about building key relationships, getting everybody on the same page and going deep in that. I think, Mike, you're a perfect example of somebody who recognized that pretty early on and said, I'm going to be completely hands off. I might raise the capital. I might bring money to the deal. I might give you some guidance if you need me to make a decision here and there.
Although before we were talking, it's a little bit more than hands off because I'm not just raising capital or spending my own money, but I tell my partners, I'm there for you. If you want to talk about something, if you want to roll some ideas over I'm always available for that type of stuff, but I'm not going to change a toilet at 2 a.m. in Fall River. That's where I draw the line. So, but the people that I think I said before the podcast, the people that I'm working with understand it, and there's no resentment. That's the key. You have to set expectations beforehand because you don't want people to be into a relationship and then get bitter over, well, I'm doing all the work. It's like, no, I said I'd bring the money and you do the work, and everybody's happy. Like my partnerships, I've become friends with these people, and it's a particularly rewarding part of my life. So
yeah, don't do what I did. Year one of my partnership with Ron, I moved to Las Vegas. He was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, you're in charge of everything. I'm going to Vegas. Let me know if anything falls apart. We'll do a weekly call, and we'll figure it out."
Yeah.
And 3 months into that, Ron was like stressed. So I ended up moving back, and we restructured everything. And I told him, "Your part in this business." Most recently, I told him, I was like, look, I just want you to be able to have conversations with me. That's really your biggest value to me right now, is you and I just keep our money rolling, and you and I can have conversations, and we'll figure out the problems. Like any challenge that any one of the businesses is coming up with, I want to be me and you having a conversation, and we find out who can go and solve it, because that's really what moves the business forward. That's my favorite time is those conversations with my partners. I love solving problems, solving ideas, coming up with ideas. But outside of that, it's like, dude, you don't want me going out there doing it. My team is way smarter than I am. My team is way faster.
And the other thing I learned from you, Walter, is the rewarding part of taking someone who may not have the net worth you have yet and building them up to that, like you did with Ron. You always talk about making him feel cleanly rich, or I don't know what you call it.
Filthy
that.
effing
Cleanly
rich, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start that clean. I want to be cleanly rich. What does that
We're
Yeah.
gonna make
mean?
you clean rich,
We're
bro.
gonna
What's
make
that
it
mean?
clean
Nobody knows what it means.
Yeah.
But it's what it's
Get some
provocative.
people
It gets the
going.
people going.
You got to put that on one of your 100 millionaires. But make the shirt cleanly rich.
Cleanly rich.
Think about it. Every
Yeah.
single person would ask you, "What's that? What does that mean?" And then
They're gonna
boom.
know. They're gonna know exactly what that means because it actually it says what it means literally by saying cleanly rich. Like, come on.
I
Like,
bet people still ask, and then you're
I
like,
love it.
jump on
Yeah.
the 52 weeks to wealth principle call, and you can find out.
Click the link below. Register for
Scan
alchemistnation.com.
my T-shirt
You could click QR code right below it.
right
Cleanly
below.
rich.
Cleanly
Just
rich
click
with a
that.
QR code. People won't even ask; they'll just sneak up behind you and snap pic.
Zap it. Yeah, that's awesome.
So for the team that's watching this video and chopping everything up, you can go back later and send Darina a text and just let her know we're gonna get shirts made cleanly rich, and we'll get that out for the community at some point.
I like it. I like it. I want one at the summit. How's that?
Yeah, Darina just did.
When is that?
the shirts for the summit?
When is that?
100 Millionaires Summit coming up October 21st to the 23rd. You're going to see Michael Shine, the holistic attorney, speaking about partnerships. Mitch Jorsky, the crypto cat, giving us his rendition of where he sees the market going. Hashtag crypto prediction coming soon,
Sweet.
which is, I mean, I think that's why we're doing all of this right now, is we see the markets correcting in ways, maybe not the crypto market. It's sideways movement is
It's hibernating, right?
it's
Mitch?
hibernating.
It is. It's hibernating right now.
Hibernating with high volatility. So it's just doing its thing, going sideways. The
Yeah.
stock market's, doing a little correction. If a bear hibernates, maybe that's what the stock market's doing right now. And the real estate market's cracking under the weight of the stock market bear, right? The Fed's doing their hikes today. Like, what time does the Fed's response come out? That's
What is it? 2,
Like 2 or
2:15?
2:30, I forgot.
Yeah, I forget if it's 2:15, 2:30 when like the actual the meeting's going, but when the announcement comes out, it's sometime around 2:15, 2:30.
So they're likely going to double up on what they've been doing. So 50%, 0.50%
Yeah.
increase in the interest rate. So the cracking continues, right? The bear is sleeping on the ice that is the real estate market.
Mitch, did you ever watch that guy, Captain Jim James, the YouTube guy? Because I was listening to him yesterday, and it was just
No,
so
is that
fun.
but is that the Twitter you gave us?
Yeah,
too?
yeah. So he has like a
I
YouTube
watched-
live thing.
Yeah, I
He's-
see the Twitter stuff.
But yesterday he was like, buy the dips. We know it's a bear market, buy the dips. And he just kept buying and watching. He's like, I'm out. He does the spiders, SPY.
Buy the dip strategy has
S&P
been
500
basically-
tracking ETF. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy the dip strategy has been the easy button to making money in the market over the last 10 years because, always went back up.
Yeah. Well, his
I
are
don't know
like
if
day
that'll-
trades. It's crazy to watch him. It's like it drops down and he's got charts like you do. And then he's like, I'm buying here and I'm selling here. And like, I'm taking profits at 418 or whatever. It's
Yeah, and
pretty-
there's
Man, that sounds like
ETFs
a-
that short the market too, right? So you could be
Yeah,
buying an
you could go the
ETF that
other way.
shorts the market, and
That sounds like a lot of work.
yeah,
I
it
don't know.
sounds like a lot of work to me. You got to enjoy doing it.
I used to. I have no desire to be that active.
One of
anymore.
his comments was like, this is the day, this was either yesterday or the day before. He says, this is the day where you could take money from those white billionaires. And this is it right now. And then turn off your computer for a month and a half and come back. And I was like, oh my God, you're awesome.
Take the money from
Hilarious.
those white billionaires. Come
Yeah,
on now.
He was a lot worse than I'm saying. He was just really sort of like, they don't even notice they're losing this money. And you're just gonna go and swoop in some of it and you're out. Yeah.
Tell you what, I don't know if it was his thread or whatever, but like I was actually it might have been in the comments from one of the tweets you sent this morning, Mike, and they were talking about, at what interest rate does basically things break, and like someone posted 2002, I think 2006, whatever it was, 2018, and like what the interest rate was and when things went off the rail, and the rate kept getting lower. And in 2018, it was only like 2.5%.
Wow.
The Fed rate when basically stuff started going off the rails. which was a blip. I mean, Walter, you were talking about earlier, like you were right. Like 2018, you guys actually were right, except the problem was the Fed turned the money printer on and cut rates because any hint of anything faltering, in terms of market and stocks, blah, blah, blah. So I think that you guys actually would have been spot on. And ideally that's what needed to happen. Like them printing more and like, that was just
kicking the can.
When 2019 happened, Ron and I sat back down and I just told him, I was like, dude, the government just fucked up. Like they just made the biggest mistake of the history of the financial markets. And because they were afraid of taking the hit. In 2018, I thought they made some great calls, beginning of the year, middle of the year. And then when they started pulling back again, we were just like, dude, and then when they started printing the money, you're absolutely right. Like, they just destroyed every poor person in the country. They completely widened the gap even further.
2019 should have been basically a down year for GDP, all that stuff. It should have been
should have taken the
cleansing,
hit.
Right.
A cutting out some of the fat, but instead it was nope. Let's just pour some steroids into the punch bowl. And now
with no return on investment, they made an investment in the country with no return on investment, no expectation of a return on investment. They're like, we're just going to take another loss.
And then COVID happened, which gave them basically a blank check to just do anything.
Yeah.
And now we are where we are.
Increase the income of every business owner, every investor, every entrepreneur. All it did was increase the businesses that were running that could take money from the people who were just spending. That's all it did was increase those businesses. Those businesses went back and bought more of their businesses. Right? The big corporations bought back more of their shares instead of investing in the economy.
All the last 3-4 years did was expand the divide between the haves and have-nots.
Haves and have-nots.
The middle class got pretty much annihilated and pretty much doesn't even exist. And, the rich got richer, the poor got poorer. And, all these people that are on the wrong side of it that, or like, yes, give me my stimulus checks and all this. I'm like, you do realize they're actually making you more poor. Like this is hurting you.
Yep.
Unless you buy crypto with it.
Well, no, but that's the problem. Like those people don't have the education to buy crypto. And so they were buying Dogecoin and SHIB and all these other junk tokens.
Which I mean, hey, it made money. If you were smart enough to sell, it made money.
But that's
funny. The Bitcoin one, they'd always show in Twitter where it was like, if you took your stimulus check, $1,600, for example, it'd be worth 10.5 right now. So post that. But I don't think that's what the government was intending.
No, and most people didn't do that. Most people they put it in, they lost money, right? As it pumped, they'd buy more. They'd buy at the pump and then they'd sell at the dump. And people lost money throughout the last 2 years, 3 years.
Oh well.
But like there are a few people did well, right? A few people who were sophisticated enough just bought low and held and maybe took some profits during the highs, but that's unfortunately not the majority because the majority are not educated to let their emotions stay out of the investment. They're so used to active income and playing with their investments. Don't play with money, invest money, right? They're over there playing with their money. Oh, it went up. I think they're traders.
They get itchy fingers too.
Fingers. They get paper hands.
Things. We got to do that. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. So,
gentlemen, are we keeping it a short one today?
I think for the sake of everybody else, yes. So we'll keep this short. So click the link below if there's a link to click. If there's not, well, there should be a link to click. So you know where to go, alchemistnation.com. Like, share, subscribe, let people know what's coming. There are opportunities. Every change, every challenge brings with it the opportunities to surmount the challenge, to make more money, to become more profitable. During these next couple of years, we do see cracks in every one of the markets. We see signs. Real estate's a little slow, so it's coming. And be preparing yourself now. We are net sellers. A lot of our real estate is being sold at the moment. We are acquiring things that cash flow that make a lot of sense, but we're primarily selling a lot of the stuff that's overappreciated and we're moving it into a cash position, into assets that, again, cash flow into our businesses. We're marketing.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, but for sure, share, like, subscribe. Mike Shine, take us out of here, brother.
Massive income from passive income. I hope you're all making a ton of massive income from passive income. How's that?
Mitch,
look at all those.
You got to organize so you can collect that passive income, organize your
Sweet.
businesses.
Yeah. Awesome.
When you have a choice, but hold on. The point is not to work, it's to generate income. When you have a choice, always work with the best. See you guys in the next one.
Peace. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Later.